Well, are we live or we're not live? I'm not quite
Live.
sure.
Yep, I can see it.
Says it's
on
live to
the
me.
It's live.
Says
Good.
we're
Now
live.
it is.
Mhm.
Now it's live. Very well. So, everybody, welcome to the Entertainment Headquarters and welcome to a very special Predator event where we're going to talk about all the Predator movies. So, yes, that's what we had to talk about. Hopefully, we can get through this peacefully in one, bit. So these are all of the movies we're talking about today. So yes. So what's your first recollection of the Predator franchise? We'll start with Mr. Daniel Miller.
My recollection of the Predator franchise goes back to when I was first watching the Alien vs. Predator movies, because I watched those movies first, then I was introduced to the original Predators, first through Predator 2, then the first Predator, then Predators. And my initial thinking of it was, well, through the way I was introduced to it, my first thought was, wow, the first two Predator movies are great, the rest are awful. But then upon revisiting them again in proper order, I have more appreciation for the first three Predator movies. The AVP2, the two AVP movies, hit and miss, but the second one, while it does have a really good Predator design, it's just, it was a low point for both franchises. The Predator, honestly, just what the hell were you thinking? Just why?
Blame Shane
Why? What the hell? What? No. Then, yeah, ever since then, I've just stuck with the first three movies because to me, the first three movies, they're the ones. They're the top of the Predator movies to date, so I just stick with those. Occasionally, I do go to the first AVP movie, but to me, they're separate from the Predator timeline. That's how I see it.
When you say first three, are you regards to Prey or are you regards to Predators?
The first three Predator movies.
Okay, but there's 1, 2, and then there's a prequel and Prey. That would be considered the first, technically.
He means one.
I meant in terms of year order.
Predators.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all. That's what I want to know what he was talking about.
Yeah, I'm not talking about continuity. I'm just talking about the order of years that were released.
Gotcha.
And that's oh god, why they had? I get it that they go backwards and forwards in time and space, but do they have to mess up the continuity even more? When everyone's saying you're talking about the first Predator movie, people think, wait, you're talking about Prey or Predator? Which one do you mean? Like, what the hell do you think I'm talking about?
The first one for me is if anybody else says that, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger's. Like, I don't think Prey. I would just say Prey.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Anubis, can you remember your first time seeing the Predator? Or Predator?
Yeah, I was in a movie theater.
Oh.
No, I was. I went to see the movie theater. Again, this is at the height of Schwarzenegger mania. He was the real deal during that time. So when Predator came out, I was in love with the concept, not even knowing anything about it. Of course, this was new to a lot of people, but I think I probably went back like 2 or 3 times to see that in the theater during that summer. Like, it was just such a great, fun film. And when Predator 2 came out, I was really excited as well and went to see that in the theater. When it came to Predators and the Predator, yeah, you're not going to like a lot I have to say on those. But Prey, had some problems, but it was still decent for a return. And as I said in my review more recently, with both my reviews for, even though I don't really consider Killer of Killer as a live action, that was a really fun Predator film, as well as the Badlands that I recently saw was amazing. So,
yeah. Jedi Granville, what's your overall thoughts of like the Predator franchise?
Oh, well, they're pretty much not. Well, they're not like Alien in a way, but they are unique in their own way. I like Alien, you know, and I like Anubis. I saw the original Predator in the theater back then when I was allowed, when I was old enough to watch R-rated films in the theater. Although my mom was attending with me when I went to go see this, so it was a total blast because I didn't know what to expect from this film. You know, I mean, Alien mixed with Apocalypse Now kind of vibe. It's like that's what it was, and kind of like with the Predator 2. You know, I was like, I don't know what this is going to be because it's set some years later, and it's okay. It's a pretty, you know, what you call guilty pleasure, I like to say. Predators I did not see in the theater, unfortunately, but when I did see it, I was like, this is a pretty decent film, you know, and I pretty enjoyed it because it was directed by Robert Rodriguez, surprisingly. And the Alien versus Predator melee. Okay, this is going to be controversial when I say this. The first one is all right because it was PG-13. The second one that was R-rated, I actually enjoyed a little bit more. So just let you know that. Now that's not that it's relevant. Can't even say the word. See, it's messing me up. But the Predator, I guess we can all unanimously say that is Shane Black should have done a lot better with that. But hey,
Yeah.
that.
I was still shocked when because I just watched it again for the first time today in a while, and like I forgot Shane did it. I was like, this can't be a Shane Black film.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that and like I say, the recent ones, Prey, Killers, which I just actually managed to see in time to watch to get the overall anecdote about the story. And Badlands, I got to say, it rejuvenated the whole Predator vibe a little bit, you know, because it would seem like it was a dying, like anything else that comes out of Hollywood. You make something, it becomes a big hit, and then sometime along your way, you say, Hollywood, let's make another one of these and see where it goes. It's like all you gotta do is just jacking the shit up and thinking like someone's gonna watch this, you know. But someone took the premise of what they did, which is David Trachtenberg, and really dug deep and said, people want to see something that's going to entertain them, not some bullshit that you're throwing at them all the 5 seconds ago, you know. So in a way, it was good at the start. It kind of phoned the ball in the middle. It's kind of picking up a little bit at the tail end. So,
Mr. Tony the Dead.
Okay. Just so you know, I did not see Badlands yet, so when I start hearing you talk about it, I'm taking the headphones right the hell off.
Good idea.
Yeah. I remember having them on VHS back in the day. I don't know if we remember. I remember owning movies, but I remember renting too. I remember seeing Predator and really liking it. And then when Predator 2 came out, I was like, oh my God, it's coming out. And I mean, I was only, I don't know how old I was when I saw Predator, but I mean, I was young. And then Predator 2 came out and I was only 10 and I saw it. My parents didn't care. But I was so excited for Predator 2 because it's like, you know, another movie and it's like in the city. And then throughout the years, I watched them on and off here like a lot all throughout the year, especially Predator. But yeah, Predators. I'm not gonna go long about this, but I do like Predators. My order's probably changed since last time, though, to be honest. But Predators is cool. I mean, I enjoy Prey. The Alien versus Predator ones, like those, I used to hate them. I was like, I never want to watch
even
these.
talking about those ones?
no, we're not.
No,
Everybody mentioned them.
we're just sticking to Predator, but obviously you can mention them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I won't get into them, but I'll just say like I like them more now than I used to. But I think the first one of that is better than the other one, but because I hate the design of the hybrid. I think it looks stupid. But then what do we have? Killer of Killers.
Yeah.
I watched that today again. It's still great. And well, I didn't see Badlands yet.
Well, you're missing a treat, Mr. Tony. That's all I'm going to say. As for me, obviously, the Predator franchise started way back in 1980, I think 7, I believe.
87.
And honestly, I didn't know what to expect when I was younger, when I first seen this film. Obviously, the first thing you see is this ship and something leave the ship in, Earth's orbit. And then it goes from starting off to be like a sci-fi movie and turns into like a war, Vietnam type movie. And then it turns into like a Vietnam horror sci-fi film. So it had a mixture of everything. Great action, great cast, great one-liners, and obviously from the back of the success of that, the franchise has grown exponentially, and it's had a mixture of results, some good, some bad, but obviously it kind of lost its way, I felt, for a time after Predators. The Alien versus Predator films could have been a lot better, but then thanks to Dan Trachtenberg, he seems to be putting new blood and new life into the Predator franchise, and it seems to be something he's very passionate at doing. He had 3 film ideas, or 3 story ideas, and he was allowed to bring them to life, which was Prey, Killer of Killers, and of course Badlands. And apparently he's got a lot more in the tank. So I think for now, the future of Predator as a franchise seems quite bright, as far as I'm concerned. But we've got to start right at the beginning and talk about where it all began, and that is Predator. So, Mr. Daniel Miller, give like a quick plot synopsis and your thoughts of the first film.
All right. Okay, here is a quick plot synopsis for you. In the South American jungle, a team of an American special forces with a CIA liaison are sent into the jungle to rescue some cabinet minister members who have been taken hostage by guerrillas. But only do they realize they're not alone, as they're being stalked by a vicious extraterrestrial creature from another planet that hunts for sport.
Yes.
Now, my first impression of Predator, because I heard about it a lot, of course, from its reputation, and even when talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger movies in general, and it was a movie that I really did want to see. Yeah, there's the cast, great performances, and it's really, really believable chemistry between the cast because they all did basic training whilst production of the movie was underway. But yeah, but I absolutely liked this movie the first time I watched it. And yes, awesome design by Stan Winston and co there.
Yes.
Yeah. And yes, it really does help to see something with mandibles. That's what James Cameron hinted at. Now, this is the story. James Cameron hinted at Stan Winston because he was doing the concept art for the movie. He said, I've always wanted to see something with mandibles. And thus there came the Predator face, which... And yes, Schwarzenegger said it really was one ugly...
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, great production design, although most of it was all shot on location in the jungle. And especially when it comes to the creature design itself, one of my favorite creature designs, especially from an 80s science fiction movie. Hello, Jake. And another thing I also loved about Predator was the soundtrack by Alan Silvestri.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the thing when I love talking about movies, because to me, music works just as great, or if not supports, what we see on screen. And I think, me personally, it's something that's not talked about a lot, and it definitely needs a lot more highlighting. Because if Predator didn't have the music that Alan Silvestri gave it, it wouldn't even be half the movie it is today, in my opinion.
Yeah, very true.
I agree.
Yeah.
And you didn't mention it, but imagine what we all talked about in the past. Imagine what the Predator was going like if they went with the original design.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was like a
Originally-
giant beetle type thing. It looked like.
Yeah.
Played by
With,
John Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
They should have put him in the cast then to like, you're not the Predator. We'll put you next to Arnold. You'll be the first to die.
That would be an interesting thing if two big names, Schwarzenegger and Van Damme, actually starred alongside each other in this movie. That would be an interesting one.
And the director of the movie is obviously it's John McTiernan. I think that's how you say his name. Obviously, after he did Predator, he went ahead and did Die Hard. So, he did The Hunt for Red October, which is also a film I really enjoy. He then came back. He did Die Hard with the Vengeance. He did 13th Warrior as well, which is a great film that me and Anubis have covered on Retro Classic Movie Show. So the director kind of knew what he was doing as well. So great director, great movie score. And the film really, like you say, came alive once Stan Winston got on board to do the practical effects. And I'm so glad that they brought him aboard because he created the iconic Predator.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for him, I don't think the film would have been, as successful as it has been.
I agree.
And don't forget about the person who's playing the Predator, which is Kevin Peter Hall.
Oh,
Yeah.
hell yeah.
Who in this movie, toward the end, also had a cameo out of costume. He was the helicopter pilot who was coming in to pick up Schwarzenegger after the Predator's bomb detonated. And another note on the Predator design, this has one of the best reveals of the creature, in my opinion, because we only see it in stages. First, we see it camouflaged, then we see it, but it's wearing a helmet over its face, and the suspense is delayed even further. And then when it's finally revealed, we get this design from Stan Winston, and we're all thinking
Ugly motherfucker.
yeah, and also has one of the best sound effects as well. That vocal, badass and terrifying.
Agreed.
True.
Definitely. So for me, it's still one of my all-time favorite films, Predator, the first one. I can watch it over and over and never get bored. But at the same time, it kind of helped put Arnold Schwarzenegger on the map. Even though he had done things like Conan and a lot of things, I think Predator became one of his signature films outside of, say, The Terminator.
Yep.
So obviously because of anything, because Hollywood is Hollywood, because of the success of the first Predator film, they of course had to do Predator 2.
Yep.
Which, I'll be quite honest, I really enjoy as well and thought was a really good follow-up to the first film, where we'll go from the jungle into a major metropolitan city in the near distant future. This film, of course, was directed by Stephen Hopkins. So he directed this one. He's done a handful of films. Some I have seen, some I haven't seen, some I can't remember. But of course, this film stars Danny Glover in a well-known faces from the 1980s.
The late great Bill Paxton, of course.
Maria Conchita Alonso.
Yes.
And Ruben Blades.
Yeah, definitely.
And let's not forget Gary Busey.
I was going to say Gary Busey.
Oh, he's so good. I liked Gary before he went all nuts.
Yes. But this basically follows a policeman who's basically investigating these murders, but nothing's adding up, and there's more murders and more bodies piling up, and then it's soon revealed that it's this Predator that has now entered the city that is hunting people down. There's a gang war as well with the cartels, and then of course Gary Busey's character plays for, you know, they know about the predator, and they already know it's on Earth, and they want to now become like the hunters, to hunt it down. And there's some. I thought the first film had some amazing kills. But I think this film, the kills are just as fun, especially Gary Busey's character and the way he dies, gets, you know, basically sliced in half. Obviously, you see a bit more skin in this one. You know, lots of people hung up in.
Yes.
And one of my particular favourite scenes in the second one is where you've got like the leader in the alleyway and he pulls out his sword and the predator walks to. It's like it's like another version of what happened with Billy.
Yeah.
In the first movie, it seems like they always have to have like a duel between, you know, a warrior and a predator, you know.
Yeah.
But I thought, you know, just as good. And then they added more to the lore and the history of the predator by introducing the ship and other predators and so forth. So we'll start with Mr. Tony the Dead. What's your overall thought on Predator 2?
Oh man, I always liked this movie, and then one day my one friend came over and he like chewed it apart. So like, luckily I forgot everything he used to say or that he said. So when I watched this the other day, when I finally could put the TV on, the first thing I put on is Predator 2. But I put it on and I'm watching it and I'm quoting it and like I'm just like having such a good time watching it. I think it was one of the best times I ever watched the movie, even though I felt like, you know, 80% a human. But yeah, I just love Bill Paxton. I love the team on this. I know Anthony said the fact that the character is not is an average man. Danny Glover's not an average man. I'm sorry. He is the man. I didn't meet him directly. My friend did, and I dared him to go over to him and say, or no, he dared me to go over to him and say, "What's up, pussy face?" And I didn't do it. I didn't do it though. But yeah, I always love the movie. There are some things that are a little off about it though. Like I don't understand why the Predator got struck by lightning. You know, like it seems like a really kind of an odd part. It doesn't charge him up or anything.
That's the Predator from the second film.
Yeah. He's cute. That's his Tinder profile. But yeah, it's a little comical at times, but I think it works because it's like, what the hell are you supposed to do? You're hanging off the edge of a building. Like at this point in time, he's not even afraid of heights anymore. He's just like, he even says, maybe I'll get lucky and fall. He's wanted to fucking chase
one of the best lines in there.
So, but yeah, it's good. And then of course at the end, you see that he finally defeats him, and then like just another pointer is on him, and it's like all of them show up. It's like, oh my god. That's probably true, Anthony. But yeah, then you get introduced to the Elder Predator and all the other ones, and it's like, oh my god, of course there's more out there, but they're just chilling on this ship while this other one's out there hunting, which is kind of cool. But yeah, it's a great movie. No, I don't like it as much as the first one, but it's so close.
Yeah.
It's very pivotal because one, there's a couple of cool things. One, Henry Kingi, who plays El Scorpio, is actually someone who died in the first film as well. Is one of the guys that were a part of that group, a guerrilla group. But also the ending is where we get the connection to Alien, and so like that's always been a pivotal part of this particular movie, where we get to see like these predators go across the galaxy killing other creatures and their hunters. So I've always appreciated the fact that this is one that kind of like opened the door to the Alien versus Predator franchise.
Yes, make it canon.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. Everybody, oh my god, that's an alien head? Holy shit, it was cool.
Yeah, and that set up that sowed the seeds for the whole AVP craze that took over the 90s, from Dark Horse Comics
Yeah.
all the way up to the video games and even the toys that Kenner produced in the mid 90s, and then which ultimately led to the 2 AVP movies. But
And
that's
Prey.
a whole, yeah,
Because of
but
the gun.
that's a whole different kettle of fish.
Mhm.
Yeah.
With regards to Predator 2, I absolutely love the 2 action scenes, they being the train attack and the showdown in the slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
I know that train scene was in the comic because I remember seeing
Mm.
that train scene around the same. I don't know when that came out, but like I remember not long after Predator 2 reading the book, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's in the movie." And they did
Yeah.
pretty good job in the movie as exact, adaptation. I thought.
Mm. Yeah.
I
And
love
that was-
Pullman. Bill Pullman's part. Like he's such a cool character, the Lone Ranger.
Yeah. Bill Paxton.
Mm.
Oh, Paxton.
Yeah,
And that's the thing,
Bill
was-
Paxton.
What's
and that's
your
the-
overall thoughts, Jedi, on Predator 2?
Well, because I when it came out, I didn't see it until the tail end of that year because I was I was still kind of skeptical about sequels, even though I've seen sequels of other films that are more popular or whatever. But when I did go see it, it started out differently than I thought it would. And I knew about it being in the theater. I mean, in the theater, being in the city. I said to myself, okay, this makes sense because we have to remind ourselves that the Yatet, what you call it, the official name for it, Yata or Yeti,
Yautja.
Yautja. The official name for them is Yautja. They love the heat. They love hot environments. So being in a city during the summertime where it's hot as hell makes a whole lot of sense. So it would attract them, So when you see this movie, it's just like, where's it going to go to? Because we're dealing with people with all kinds of weaponry, whatever, but that doesn't mean that this thing is, vulnerable to this stuff. It's like, it's going to take them out some kind of way. And that's the whole purpose of its hunt being here, So to me, in the end, the film is, kind of like Tony, it's not as good as the first one, but it is a guilty pleasure where it's like, where's it going to go to? Where's it going to? And then when you see he defeats defeats that particular predator, and then the ship leaves with the other ones, I love how when Danny Glover character runs away, the exhaust of the ship blows out, and almost incinerates everything. And I gotta say, that's gotta be one of the worst effects I've ever seen in a film, because the juxtaposition of it, maddening and everything, is like, well, y'all could have done a better job of that, but that's beside the point. I just love the sound design in this film. The sound design in this film, like before, was kind of done with the same people. The first one was done with the guy who edited was Richard L. Anderson. This one was sound edited by Stephen Hunter Flick. So they was kind of, like I say, they were in the same business together. So they pretty much kept the evidence of the sound of the Predator, the sound of the instruments and everything. So honestly, the movie was just a glorified joy fest for me looking at that, because all the stuff that's being thrown out and everything. And like I say, the movie is, like I say, it's still one of those guilty pleasures even till now. And I got to put this out. One fun fact about this: there is a little bit more skin in this film, but believe it or not, there is supposed to be some skin in the original Predator. And this is only because of someone on the studio here say, "Can we get a love scene in that film?" It's like, these people are being hunted by a dangerous organism. You want them to be engaged in this kind of activity while someone's hunting them? I'm like, what are you thinking? But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there.
Also, this film could have been a completely different film, because if you remember, Danny Glover was not originally meant to be in the film. There were 2 people that were suggested, because the original idea was it to be a direct follow-up to the first one, with Arnold Schwarzenegger returning, teaming up with a cop played by Patrick Swayze. but they changed the story, and then they were going to cast Steven Seagal.
Wait a minute. Now, this is something I did not know. Okay, so what you're saying is that if they had put Seagal in this picture, so Seagal would easily have defeated the Predators in one swift blow, because we all know that Steven Seagal is someone who's untouchable. He's like flip flat. Like,
Yeah, he just
really?
goes,
Yep.
go this way. Go this. Oh shit!
I think the funny thing is, and I think Anthony brought up what I think it actually works really well with Glover, because he's not your atypical action hero. And so it brings a bit of a more human element into it. Because when you look at Arnold, man, we just know he's like a god. You know, it's like, but with Danny, it's like he's kind of clumsy, he's old, he complains a lot, and so it makes it a lot more fun when you have someone who's just like he doesn't really cope but he's very tenacious, and so like that's what makes Danny Glover's character so fun, is that he's just tenacious. But he's more human than, you know, Schwarzenegger or Ventura or a lot of those guys that were in the first film. So I think it actually works a lot better in this film that Schwarzenegger and you know, Swayze aren't in it. Like, I think it just works a lot better.
Yeah, and obviously Kevin Peter Hall came back in this one to reprise the role of the Predator.
Yeah.
When I was looking at, I didn't mean to cut you out. In the Predator 1, I never knew this until just now. One of the medics apparently is Franco Columbo. Or, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you
Not
said
Franco
it,
Columbo.
right. Well, yeah, I know what you mean. Yes.
Yeah, Franco Columbo. I said it right.
Yeah, you said it.
He was a big time. He was his partner for a long time, and you know, with the lifting and bodybuilding and stuff. And I never knew that. Now I have to go back and look for him. He's a medic, apparently.
Okay.
Just look for the really short Italian, huge armed guy.
I have to look back myself. Then you say that now.
Yeah.
I do know that name pops up in Last Action Hero. You know, in a for the beginning of that Jack Slater 4 in the mock movie in that film. So I know that film. I know that name has some relevance to something. I didn't know what for though.
Oh, I'll have to check that one out too.
Yeah. But obviously, after the success of Predator 2, or, well, it wasn't as successful as the first one when it initially was released. It had a budget of 20 to 30 million, and it only made 57.1 million at the box office. Where the first film cost only 15 to 18 million, and it made 98 million at the box office. So the second one cost more and earned less. So I think they were hesitant to do a third one. But because of the popularity of the franchise via other media, comics, figures, you know, the landscape of popularity, games, we did get the Alien versus Predator films, but when it came to solo Predator property, we didn't get a follow-up or another solo movie till I think it was 2010.
Yeah.
And that is Predators. Now, I went to see this in theaters when it first came out, and I really enjoyed it.
I'm sorry.
About what?
Yes, I did.
I was gonna say, what is...
I really enjoyed it, Anubis.
I do too, Kevin. I don't think I saw it in a theater though.
I did.
So this is the cast.
Yes.
So basically, the story of this one is where different people with, you know, they're not good people. They're all criminals. They're all murderers. They're all, you know, rapists. They are all brought to. They are obviously abducted from Earth and transported to this planet to basically become prey on. Basically, I guess it's like a training ground for predators to, you know, to like do training and to gather themselves to be able to go against a bigger hunt in the future. And this film has a number of different predators.
Mm.
Uh,
The
and
super predators, they're dubbed.
yeah, well, one of them I think is known as the falcon predator.
Yep.
There's
Uh,
Falcon, and there's like Berserker.
mhm.
And there's Tracker, who's got the tusks tied underneath the bottom of his masks. He's the one that holds the predator hounds that we see in the film.
Yes.
Mhm.
And those hounds are much better than the ones in the Predator. I'll say
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
How can you screw that up?
Why didn't they just? I don't know why they did that.
Mhm.
Like Anthony said, somebody said it'll be cool.
Because Rodriguez was a better director.
I was just about to
Yeah.
say, but yeah, he's better choice for this. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, and the thing I like as well is he gets a lot of flack. But I generally believe Adrian Brody did a great job.
I was gonna say, I think he did great in this film. You know, I mean, I think, in fact, I think he did a great homage moment at the end of the picture where because I gotta say, I always figure Adrian Brody is more skinny on the side. He looked like he got jacked up for this film, you know, and that scene where he's calling for the predator, it's like he's doing his Arnold Schwarzenegger moment, you know. I was like, damn, Adrian's like, he looking tough there, man. Like, what the hell, you know? So, yeah, I think I see that's criticism for people to say you got an opinion, fine, but to me, I think he did pretty well for this film. You know, that's just
I agree.
Yeah.
And obviously they did do a throwback to the first film by bringing back the original Predator.
Yeah. And this thing, though, because after Predators, they always tend to get the Predator face design wrong. This, in my opinion, after Predator 2 was the only Predator sequel to actually get the Predator look right, because it was a replica that was cast from one of the original molds for the first Predator suit back in '87.
Oh.
So why they've struggled to get the Predator face to look right in the Predator when they can just recycle the mold for Predators?
And here's the odd thing about all this too, real quick. The guys who worked on this film, they pretty much are both understudies of Stan Winston, and they pretty much worked on all the Predator films, even the APP ones, you know. So that's what I don't understand myself. It's like, why didn't y'all just kind of like maybe not take the original molds, but then really trying to like do something on your own? Because, you know, remember, Stan Winston had passed away at a certain time in the late 2000s. So y'all could like make up your own stuff and see where it goes, and just make sure it's true to the myth of what the Predators are. But I don't know. I don't get it myself.
I think the faces probably change, especially in the Predator, because I do agree the first like Predator. We're not talking about Aliens versus Predator, but I always thought they looked a little bulky. But I guess that's part of like how they were in the comic a little bit too. But anyway, remember this one's like has human DNA, so it's changed a little. And the other guys, they're always experimenting and trying to do better, including their insides. So I guess it would probably change their facial features, because every mask is different. Maybe they're Mike. I don't know. Let's say Dan's head was really small. I couldn't wear a hat that he had on, so they have to adjust to it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I guess. I that's a guess.
That's
I do agree. I do agree with Dan about the facing, the facial stuff.
Yeah, I do feel like you can tell the money and the value put into certain films, and I feel as if when you got, even though it was the 80s, the 90s, and the 2010s, I feel as if it was money well spent.
Yeah.
In these films, and then when we get to the next one, it feels like it was made from fucking Asylum on a shitty budget. But I'm curious to see what DJ Lewis thinks of Predators.
Hold on to your seats.
Hold on to your butts.
Adrian if you're watching, look away.
I like the first half. I love the premise. I love the villains. I think it's a great like Suicide Squad type of setup. But they never quite go there. They end up going into the other direction where you've got these warring feudal predators and like all that shit towards the end, like with Lawrence Fishburne and all them. I'm just like, to me, that shit just never entertained me at all. It just ruined the story. Because I even like the fact that you have this like doctor who's just like basically out there. He turns out to be like a serial killer. And I thought, dude, that is such a cool concept, but then you wasted it with all this other crap. Like, it would have been one thing to have like the dogs, the predator dogs out there and stuff like that, and then have like one predator chasing them down. That would have been cool. And then just have them kind of like have that trifecta of not trusting each other, trying to kill the predator and trying to fight off all these other external things that are out there. But it just kind of lost its way towards the end for me. And that's the only problem that I really had with it. It was that it never stuck with the great concept of just having all these cool, badass villains that each had their own identity. And I thought, dude, that would have been just so cool. And we should have seen more of their deaths a little bit better than we did. And that's really just where it lost for me. It's not like this is a horrible fucking film, but it's just not as good as I think people give it credit for.
There's a few movie like of the Predator movies, like even in Predator 2, like I wish we could see more of the deaths and stuff. You know?
There is, well, if you have the choice though to pick this or the Predator, I'm picking this every time.
Agreed.
Oh yeah.
There is an interesting thing that both Predator 2 and Predators touch upon. That is the different, that's the varying look of each Predator from one clan
Hello,
to another.
welcome.
Hello, Autistic Lizard. Yeah,
What's up, buddy?
what the Super Predator designs, yes, it's not in everyone's cup of tea, but it doesn't take it in areas that has everyone like going, oh, for fuck's sake. Instead, they show it as more of a blood rivalry, as Lawrence Fishburne described it, saying that, oh, it's been going on for a long time. One's trying to outdo the other, which is an interesting take that we've only seen in the comics, but has rarely been shown on screen, at least until the Predator and Predator Killer of Killers. But here, it's shown in a way where it's not overplayed. It's shown as part of how these predators operate from what we've seen in previous iterations. It's like, okay, these predators, they're not lone wolves or they're not young bloods. Their clans operate as a team almost. Although there are instances where we actually see them on their own doing unique things. Like for instance, Tracker, he's using the hounds as like bloodhounds. Or Falconer, he doesn't have a shoulder cannon. He literally has a Falcon type machine that scouts for him, and he actually uses his blade in against the samurai scene in the long grass, which is a really good scene in my opinion. Then you have Berserker, who's on set was referred to as Mr. Black. Then you have the Berserker, who's just literally the underdog in a fight when it comes to brawling. There is some CGI when the Berserker takes his face off, but it's not overplayed. You actually see that there is a lot of practical elements in there, like with the classical Predator design, but it's not too much CGI on top of a practical thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And look,
Like that's all practical.
Yeah, not everyone likes the design, admittedly, but it looks great, and that's to do with the practicality of it.
Yeah.
And one last thing I will say, the soundtrack again, it's Alan Silvestri's cues, but the composer for this movie was John Debney, who handles Silvestri's material brilliantly in this movie.
He does. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm probably like Anubis. I do see faults in this film, but it's still a film that I very much enjoy. And I can watch all three of them films back to back. But the next movie, Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Oh no.
If somebody,
I'm
if
going to let
somebody,
you take the lead on this one.
Right. Now, this is the only Predator movie I've seen on the big screen, and I was very much looking forward to it, only to be immediately disappointed after the opening credits. And it's just okay.
look,
Oh.
I'm look,
Right.
I got it. Look, if I was there right now,
Mm.
Professor, I would pat you on the back and say, "It's okay, it's okay."
Okay, so let me wrap my head around the plot. Okay, so there's a divorced couple. The husband works in special operations, and he just so
Oh.
happens to be right where the Predator ship crash lands.
So
Yeah,
this
and
is
he
the
has a
cast.
son. Yeah.
That's the main cast of the Predators, or the bullshit, I like to call it.
And
Yeah,
of
it's
course,
being
in
this
Greenwich,
super
Mr.
genius kid, as if we're doing a Gamera movie that we didn't need.
Yeah. And here's the thing, though, because in the Predator lore, it's explained that the Predator takes the spinal column because it's a trophy. It's a rite of passage for them when they're on safari. In this movie, they retcon it, saying, okay, they're hunting people who have neurodivergently different brains, and they take the enzymes from the spinal column to make themselves better killers by injecting. What the fuck? What? No, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. What the hell were they? No,
Isn't it interesting
even
that
on the
a
spectrum
person?
myself, that's just the most bullshit thing I've ever heard.
But isn't
What
it
the actual
interesting?
fuck?
Isn't it interesting that the guy who actually starred in the original directs
Wrote
this?
this and directed this.
You would think, with a monopoly of films he's written and whatever and directed, you would think that he would have a better kind of sense of awareness that, okay, you had a property that's hot that you can kind of remaster and kind of really bring people back in their seats and watch.
Okay, so
What do?
so let's see. His
Autism
credit,
is a superpower. Are you kidding
look,
me?
okay, so let's see. Shane Black, whose credits include writing the first two Predators, the Monster Squad, the Lethal Weapon franchise, Demolition Man, then went on in the 2000s to do Iron Man 3, and then ends up on this movie. Jesus Christ.
Maybe he had people breathing down his neck. I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna ask Professor because like you and I did that whole like discussion on Requiem, right?
Yeah.
This felt like it was supposed to be a sequel to that film because you remember the end of Requiem when they found all the parts and all that shit.
Yeah.
It felt like that's what they were trying to do with this,
Yeah,
but they
but
never
then
actually reference it.
But then they confound the issue even worse by making the AVP movies canon, because they
Right.
have the makeshift tail spear that the Predator made in the pyramid for Lex Woods before the
Yep.
finale of that movie. And yet I'm seeing that on the big screen. It's like, you're fucking kidding me. You didn't just make that. Oh, no. What the? Oh, dear God.
Here's a
It only gets
question.
even worse when they introduce the whole Predator cops and robbers bullshit plot line and have that
Yep.
sorry, sad, wimpy excuse for a hound. I mean,
So basically, you love the movie.
no.
We're still talking about the Predator.
So,
The Predator
They-
show is better than this.
They gave him a lobotomy.
so Mr. Daniel Miller. Here's the question.
This is a 0 out of 10. Just putting out that 0.
Listen, what is the worse movie, that or Alien versus Predator Requiem?
I would actually say that by some very, very slim miracle, they are both terrible. They are. I have no idea how you can even manage that. That's got to be some Herculean levels of driving this into the ground as hard and as fast as you can.
I think the only thing I got out of this that really worked was Yvonne Strahovski as the wife, and then Thomas Jane as the Tourette's guy. That was really quite funny.
And the comedy in this movie,
Yeah.
it doesn't work.
Nope.
Why? Okay, so you've made the Predator PG-13. You've introduced a lot of abhorrent retconning, and you have
Yep.
comedy that doesn't land.
This movie's PG-13.
Yes.
No.
Yeah,
How?
No, this is our R-rated film.
No,
is it?
no, in the UK, it's equivalent to
AVP is a-
PG-13.
Yeah, that's
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Get
Well,
over it already. We're not talking about them movies.
But
It's all right.
another thing that always bothered me is the look of the Predator.
Oh,
Its
don't
head
even
looks
get me
bigger.
started.
Its head looks bigger than its body.
Yeah, the mandibles, they don't look right for starters. The face, okay, the eyes, they're about the only thing that do look right. The braids, I mean, if you look at the previous designs, the braids are too thick. And then keep in mind, Predators are supposed to be jacked. These like fucking bodybuilding murderers from space. What the hell is up with this guy's physique? What is going on?
I would
What?
just think he's younger. You know?
Even so,
I don't
in the
know.
comics, the younger Predators, at least they have a six-pack going on. What the hell's going on with this guy?
Human DNA was mixed in and fucked him up and made him
Beer
look
gut.
skinny.
Oh,
I'm
oh,
getting
we're
the
going
one
to
or
the
two.
human.
And
Oh
then
my
you have
God!
and then you have the
That thing.
bazooka.
Then this
I like
guy.
this design though. I like the enemy Predator more than the first one.
Well, what about the Super Predator that's in this film, which was motion captured by TJ Storm? I'm just wondering, what did he know what he was getting into when he did this film?
So
You know?
That was
th-
TJ
this
Storm.
so this is DJ Storm. That's the Super Predator.
Okay.
hey man, work is work. Don't shit on him. He's just taking
Oh,
work.
I'm just saying. I mean, did he know what he was getting into when he did the film? You know, because it's like as you say, it's work, but I'm just like, you know.
Well, the funny thing is though, because like even with Tony and I, we just went and shot a film. Like it's shot out of order, so like he probably has no idea how that shit's being put together. He's just doing a scene, and then isn't he like a stunt guy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is.
Yeah.
He's originally a
and-
stunt guy, but he then became a motion capture performer.
And then,
Yeah.
as you know, his most famous role is that of Godzilla 2014 and Godzilla
And
King of the Monsters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, this movie, I'm sure most of you would have heard from online articles like Variety and Hollywood Reporter. This movie had a very troubled production right from the very beginning. Then there were leaked endings. Like, for instance, there are two predators that the military has, and they're giving them military training for the Predator war that's coming. Or the capsule at the end actually has Newt or Ripley in cryostasis who's gone back in time. And then all of a sudden, there was a whole revelation about, I think it was a sex offender within the cast. Shit. Apparently,
Yes, it was.
apparently the producers knew about it, but it wasn't until after, I think it was Olivia Munn called it out. The producers were like, okay, yeah, he's been called out. He has to go. And yet,
Wow.
what the actual
Yeah,
fuck is
that's-
going on? Seriously, what?
I didn't understand that. It's like, how y'all not know? I mean, not put it like this. They probably knew, but it's like, how you going to just keep that person on and the other person, you think like no one's going to find out? Dude, people ain't stupid. I mean, come on, man. Sex dudes. No.
Come
But
on,
you know,
man.
while before the film got off the ground, Arnold Schwarzenegger had talks with Black to come back. He wanted to come back, but the role he was offered was a mere cameo, so he turned it down. Things could have got worse because 50 Cent could have been cast in the film.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank God he didn't. He
And
dodged the bullet.
and Benicio del Toro, he could have also starred in the film.
He also dodged the bullet.
Yeah, as you know, the in 2010 he brought out The Wolfman instead, which was a passion project. So I
That's
think
a
he
lot
delivered.
better role for him.
Yeah, so I think he deliberately turned the Predator down so he could do the Wolfman.
That
Good
and also
choice.
that remember he was in two Marvel films, the first Galaxy of the Galaxy of the
Guardians.
Guardians in God,
Mhm.
Jesus Christ.
Guardians of the
Rewind.
Galaxy, the first one, and then he was in Avengers Infinity War. What the fuck am I talking about? Okay. Yes.
Poor Jedi.
Magnificent.
I think it-
You see how you see how fucked up this movie can make you fry your brain.
if you
He's
suck at
always
Jedi,
gonna be Dr.
it'll
Gonzo
help
to
with the
me.
pronunciation.
Yes.
But anyway, the
Anyway.
next film.
Moving
I
on.
don't think there's anything else we can talk about this film
No.
because
Nobody can say anything good.
Nope.
I said one thing I liked, and I liked the Berserker Predator. I liked
Oh,
the
I
one.
like Devon. Does that count?
I like that
Well-
Jake Busey came back as what's his name's son, which is
His son.
Yeah, but
actually Gary Busey's
he was
son.
underused.
Yeah, he was.
He was very underused. Yes.
Yeah.
Totally.
I met him once.
Oh,
But,
cool.
oh,
Yeah.
cool. Like you
He
say,
was cool.
was he cool?
Yeah, he was a nice guy. His father, on the other hand, he didn't start shit with me or anything. My friend, he wanted like so much further, like an autograph, and but he told his at the time it was his girlfriend for them to come back and he'll like hook them up, and then he wanted like money, and they're like, "You're not that famous," he said. That's like, but I guess I saw when I first got to the convention, I saw him arguing with the front check-in. So he was on fire that day.
Hmm.
But his son is really nice.
Yeah. After this film kind of tanked,
Kind of.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
you know, the budget for this film was 88 million, but it made 160 million.
Hmm.
So it did okay, but if you take inflation and all that stuff, it probably isn't a great deal.
No, it
But
probably
obviously-
broke even with all the promotion and shit.
Yeah. But after the not so success, of the Predator, we didn't think we were going to get another film for a while. In fact, the Alien versus Predator films, didn't do as well as the hope. So I think everyone assumed that the Predator was a lost cause. Then
Aliens.
along came, yeah,
Hmm.
and
Back
then
in the wilderness years, we did get a lot of publications.
we did a lot of books. Like I say, it might have been dead in many ways in film form, but it survived through other popular media, like you say, games, comics, books, and all that jazz. But just when we had lost hope, along came Dan Trachtenberg, who probably gave one of the most freshest films in the franchise since the first one. And we're talking about Prey.
Oh yeah.
So, DJ Anubis, because I know you like this one, I'll let you talk about it.
Yeah, obviously we talked about how from Predator 2 at the end, it gives you both a direction with the Alien versus Predator as well as a gun that's handed to Danny Glover for defeating one of the Predators. There's just like this sense of honor among the Predator species whenever you can defeat them in combat. So one of them gives Danny this like old gun that's from 1718. Now you don't think much of it at the time, except for the fact that Danny recognizes that they've been around for a very long time on Earth, hunting people. So of course, when Prey comes out, and we all knew the rumors and the gossip about what Trachtenberg was going to do, going back to early times of when the Predator first came down to fight, and of course, Native Americans are part of this story. I think also with maybe Daniel can correct me, the Spanish Inquisition might have been part of this too, like when they first arrived Columbus and all them. Is that part of what that is? The guys are the hunters or whatever they are, the trappers.
Yeah, Christopher Columbus. Like, the thing is,
Yeah, so I know it's like around that time. So
because his name's also engraved along with the year.
yeah, so obviously Amber Midthunder, Thunder is the main actress for Naru, and they have some of that whole like feminist point of views in here, but it's not really too saturated to where it hurts the story that much. But she's there. Obviously, she likes to hunt and do the things that her brother does, and they come across, of course, a predator or something that they don't even know of, but it can cloak itself. It's definitely not something to fuck with. And I'm just never crazy about this look. I don't really understand it, other than the fact that they're just trying to give us this idea that the predator has evolved over time. But I don't know. I'm not that excited about that at all.
I wasn't sold on the design either.
Yeah, but the add-on,
but it still has a lot of the cool weaponry, those 3 discs and stuff like that. So,
God, no.
Yep.
But no, just to add on to what Anubis was saying, with the female lead in there, I heard someone say that this movie was a little bit too woke. I was like, I don't see it that way. I don't see it as
well. It's in some of this stuff, like it tried to push the idea that like her tribe was the mother was like, you need to be basically a housewife, and Naru is like, I don't want to do that. I want to be a hunter. So it's subtle, but it doesn't override the movie too much, and so at least it stays with the action and stays with like her path of being a hunter along with her brother and stuff. So I enjoy that. Like, I think she did a great job acting in this. It's not anything that really hurts me. Like, I like it much better than the last 2, in my opinion, of course. But yeah, so I thought it was good.
Yeah. Tony, your overall thoughts on Prey?
Yeah, I really like Prey. It moves up and down the list, to be honest, every time I watch these movies. But I still think it's a really good movie. I think when I first heard it, everybody said that it's woke and all that stuff. It was like it's made it sound like the whole movie was, but like I like Jedi. I don't watch that and think that, so I don't really see it. I get it, because of what Nubis described, but I just look at it as a girl who doesn't want to make medicine. She wants to fight whatever's out there, and like her brother, like
I think she did both, didn't she? Because there were times when she was creating medicine. So
but yeah, I like. It's interesting. I love her weapon in it. The dog is a good boy. Or girl. I don't remember if it was a boy or girl. But the bear scene, of course, is like holy shit. That was like the coolest thing. But yeah, I always like this movie a lot. And I think it's actually going to make a crossover, and it's going to somehow come into the dairy. Because no, they could.
Oh, but to say what?
The way that the ground is, and the way the story in dairy, if you're watching it, it's almost like. I just wanted to see what you'd say.
Don't give them any ideas, man. I'll do it.
Knowing how things are, you never know. That's Hollywood for you.
That's what's way down in the earth.
Like, I liked it. At first, when I watched it the first time, and don't forget, this was the first of all the Predator films that didn't go to the theatres. It didn't in the UK. It went straight to Disney Plus. Right. So that also made me think, budget-wise, what's the budget going to be like? Are they really going to put the money into it? Or is it really going to like be something special? Or is it just a quick cash grab, taking the name of the property and just trying to like get a quick bit of content for Disney Plus? But thanks to Dan Trachtenberg, like what I said in me Badlands review, he really has a passion for the franchise, for the characters, for this world that he's building. And he really is taking it by the horns and ran with it. And the great thing I loved about Prey, it was a mixture of the first film. It had elements of the original, but it also had some freshness. And yes, we've talked about it. People have said, oh, it was a bit woke, but of course it is bringing in like the female protagonist, but she wasn't like woke. She wasn't like this, the
And
scared.
I loved her like war
Yeah.
paint. That was so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like she was this scared little girl who was like,
Mhm.
She showed intelligence. She used the land. She used what she knew, what she learned from her people to outsmart the predator, and she used his own technology against him. So they made her a really strong and believable protagonist. And the story was different, like you said, Anubis, at the beginning. The gun that you see in Predator 2 is from 1718. This film starts in 1719, the year after, on the Northern Plains in America. So it's nice how we kind of tied that in. And as you see the look at the Predator, as Tony mentioned earlier as well, how there's different designs of the Predator, different shaped helmets in, materials because of the body shape, because each Predator, evolves and looks different. A bit like us humans, like I don't look like Tony don't look like Anthony. And obviously Jedi, no one looks like Jedi. Jedi's one and only. So, we're all different, we all look different, we're all different shapes and sizes. So obviously goes to say it's the same with the Predator species, the Utah, as they're known. I think it's the Yauta, I think they were called. And you finally got the name of the race, which is the Yauta. And like you see, this look, the Predator, it took me a while when I seen it. Did I like it? I don't. But it's known as the feral predator, so it's like an early evolved of the species.
Yeah.
So I personally didn't mind it. And I quite liked how it's more like a caveman predator now. Like, you see, if you look at like when it walks around, the helmet itself, it looks like it's made out of some sort of alien or animal bone. So it's very basic. So it's showing you how much it's changed from where it was to where we go. It's a big difference to go from that to what we got in the first Predator movie, which is this.
Yeah.
So I do like how they're like sticking to like the theme of this was set way back when, and just as human technology and civilization grew, so did the Predator race, the Yauta, even though they're still more advanced than us. So Daniel Miller, your overall thought on Prey?
Prey, it was an interesting idea, I think, setting the story long before the events of the first one, and actually in some ways shedding light on the mystery from Predator 2, which I am a bitterly conflicted about. It's great that we have an explanation, but at the same time I feel, did that really need explaining? If not indirectly or directly. Now the design, the Predator redesign, I get what they're going for, but it just doesn't sit right with me for some reason. But other than that, it does have some really good action moments, especially as Tony mentioned with the bear being ripped in half by the Predator as it's camouflage. That was a really good scene. But yeah, I don't want to say it's a mixed bag, but it does feel like a mixed bag. It's a very positively mixed bag with a little
I will, sorry to interrupt, but the one action sequence I think is just phenomenal is the one where he takes on the Frenchman.
Yeah.
Where they try to capture him and he literally goes to town, and like how he brutalizes them all. I just thought it was fantastic. It was probably the best action sequence in a Predator film. and there's that long. It looks like it's like a one shot where he's walking and the camera's in slow motion and it's like following him and he's like slicing people. He's throwing nets, and for me, it's probably one of the best until we get to Badlands. Up to this point, it was probably my favourite shot I've ever seen in a Predator film, outside of the first film. Like when he shoots Mac through the stomach, and obviously when Carl Weathers loses his arms. This for me was the most brutal and great action shot I've seen in these films since then.
And you think about it too, in the first one, how he was taking out the teams and one by one, and like until he got to Arnold, which was like the main threat to him. And this, you see how he starts off and he kills like a snake, and it's like he skins it and stuff, and then he like goes up further than the bear, and then he
kills a wolf, doesn't he?
Yeah, a wolf. That was right after the snake, and then he finally, like, he didn't even want her. He's like, she don't even pose a threat, and then finally she became the big threat to him. And I will say that's the one thing I think the ending of how he died was a little kind of underbearing, if that's the right word. Underwhelming, that's the word. You know, but other than that, I just thought that's interesting, because in the second one, it's just basically he's just killing people who try to shoot at him or have a gun. And all that.
I like how you explained that about the first film, because it's like, if you look at the Predator, he considers himself like the alpha species, the alpha hunter. So he went through each member of Dutch's team till he got to the alpha, the leader, which is Dutch.
Right.
And he basically did that in this.
He's the apex.
He's like the apex predator, or the apex prey in that case. And then obviously in the second one, Danny Glover's like just out of his league, taking on this thing. But then, this kind of
watched him. What caught his attention with him was when he drove that car up and got them to get the cops out, and that made that pinpointed him on his radar.
Yeah,
a stalker.
But if you look at the Predator in the second one, he takes on the cartel, and he kind of, in the first 5 minutes, you know, he takes it all up, and then he finds the cartel leader in the alleyway and chops his head off. And then he basically has to find new prey, new things to hunt, and that's when he leans on the Danny Glover.
And what's interesting about that, just throw this out, it's like he seems to have this sense of, you know, taunting Danny Glover's character. It's like, why are you holding up homeboy's necklace to kind of say that, you know, I took out your boy, now you come get me? It's like, you got that kind of sense of mind. I mean, I thought you was all about hunting, not something taking it personally with this, you know? It's kind of weird.
Maybe it's his way of playing, like you said. He's playing with his food.
I mean, technically the first one did that as well, like, but it was in a different way. That Predator would, like, it went back for Ventura's body. He stole his body because he wanted that trophy. So technically it was still kind of taunting him. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna distract you, and then I'm gonna go get my body.
True.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
But Dan Trachtenberg didn't just stop there with Prey. I generally, like everyone else, thought was going to be a direct follow-up to Prey. But apparently, like I say, Dan Trachtenberg, when he wanted to attach himself to the Predator franchise, he came up with 3 different story ideas. And after the success of Prey went back to Disney Fox and said, right, I've got these 2 other ideas. And very unique, very unheard of this day and age, but he was basically allowed to turn these 2 other ideas into films, but with a twist. Because the second movie that he did was the first ever animated Predator film. And for me, this is definitely, in fact, the next 2 films we're about to talk about, I'll be honest, are going to be in my top 10 this year. But where they're going to sit, Who knows? Still got the rest of the year. Still got Sisu to see on Tuesday, so who knows? But we're going to talk about Killer of Killers, which for me is one of the best animated feature films I've ever seen.
And question,
Animations.
before
Yeah.
you, I was about to ask you a question. Does it seem like it's favors that television series Blue Eyed Samurai?
It's got a similar look in the way the characters are designed, the way it's animated. It's 100% feels like that could go into this world because of the animated style. But obviously, why this is unique, because this is, of course, an anthology film that takes you through 3 different time periods in Earth's history with 3 protagonists. One during like the Viking era, one during the Japanese like Shogun era, and one during like the early times. I think it was World War One or two. I cannot remember which war. Was it two?
Yeah.
So
it takes place in 1942.
Yeah, the 3 different stories are called. The first one was called The Shield. The second one was called The Sword, and the third one was called The Bullet. And these 3 are our leading characters.
I'm seeing a mixture of Blue Eyed Samurai and Arcane in the animation style.
Yes.
That's well, because that's the thing because I told Kevin I just caught it today watching, because I've been trying to find where you can watch it at, and when I watched it, it's like this animation looks strikingly like Blue Eye Samurai, with that similar feature. But I mean, it's very unique in its own way, which I like.
Mm-hmm.
It reminded me of something like on Animatrix.
Yes, I could see that.
Yeah.
Like, I know there's different styles in that, but like it reminded me like it could have been like in that, you know what I mean? It's a cool.
Actually, now you say that, Tony, I'm kind of this movie kind of sets that narrative of the Animatrix in terms of like that's what it's doing here. It's actually taking a couple of stories and it's being projected into the Predator mythos, as the saying goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And another thing I didn't realize is one of these characters could be related to another character from a previous film, and you didn't even know it.
I'm gonna take a wild guess. Oh, okay. Oh, damn. Okay.
Yep.
I did not
Wow.
see that.
I was about to. Crazy as it's gonna sound. I was thinking that you was thinking about. You probably talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger's character with the Norse.
Oh.
Yes.
Which would have been crazy if that's the case. I mean, that would have been like, oh my gosh, he comes from a long line of warriors. It's like, who knows?
Mm-hmm. So, since you've first seen this film, I'll let you take the lead on this one, Jedi. What's your overall thoughts on
You
Killer?
got a question there, real quick, Kevin. You got a question in the chat.
Oh, 1 second.
That's the question.
Hello, the Harbinger. How would you guys feel about adapting the white hybrid from the Deadliest of the Species comics, male and female? Awesome designs, and with the emphasis of synths, yeah, it can work. I think, personally, because I have only read a handful of the comic books, I think with the way Dan Trachtenberg's going, anything's possible.
Right.
Because, he's created 3 separate, if you think about it, yes, they're kind of interlinked, but he's kind of created 3 separate universes, like Prey, and I guess Badlands are probably part of the same universe, but then you've also got the animated movie. So I personally would like to see a sequel to all 3 films.
Yeah.
And because of that, anything that could be inspired by the comic book could make its way into the films. It just depends if Dan Trachtenberg has a way to adapt it into his story.
Mm-hmm.
and that's the main line. What's his vision and what's inspired him from comics and other inspirations. So that's a good idea, though.
Truly. I hope the studios give him the leverage to do that, because like here's a person who's a fresh. I mean, not so much because he's been directing for a while, but he's got a great mind, great way of doing storytelling, great way of filming something. It's like, and he's doing it in most of this stuff as much as we can practically. Even though this one is an animation one, he's doing most of this stuff practically. So it's like he's doing the old school Hollywood standard of telling a story, and I'm like, give him that reins, give him that ability to do that. But to kind of answer your question about this film, I was like I say, because I've heard people say that this movie is pretty much a decent film. It's pretty uptake of Predator. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna check it out. I mean, hopefully I'll get the same sense. And all I can say is the brutality in this film. This is why I keep, especially with the two first stories. I personally, that's why I mentioned the first thing I thought was Blue Eye Samurai for some reason, because it's brutal in that series. But here is like, boy, you see people's heads getting cut off, you see limbs you get people getting dismembered. It's like, it's crazy, at least for the first two stories, the Norse time and the Japanese time, the Shogun era, and then when you get into the kind of early 20th century, it's it's brutal, but it's not so brutal because it's taking place in the air. It's mostly air demolition of these pilots, and they get taken out pretty brutally too. But the crazy thing is, when you see it, you don't realize that all these stories are connected together, because it's taking each of the characters that's in the story and putting them in this particular box, and it's almost kind of linking to what they did in Predators and say, y'all are going to have to fight here in our backyard, and you got to have to fight each other until you can fight me, the lead one, who you have to take out. So it's a mixed bag of things, but at the same time, it's very well done with that. And I won't give too much of the ending away, but someone said that Arnold Schwarzenegger or his character makes a cameo in this picture at the end. I won't.
So this is what I got frustrated with.
Okay.
So basically, it was released on Disney Plus. It had its ending. The ending ends the way it does, where you see that the leader Predator, and they're flying away, and then obviously they get hunted. There's like a hunt starts, and it ends where the Predator are going to continue going after the survivors. And then all of a sudden you got to Comic-Con this year, where there was a panel of 20th Century Fox. They were promoting Badlands, and they were talking about Predator, Killer of Killers. So as an exclusive in the hall, they decided to reveal an extended cut of the ending.
Oh, really?
Of Killer of Killers.
Yes, and guess what happened at the end? Do you want a spoiler if you don't know already? So
Yes,
it goes back to the ship, and at the back of the ship, you see all of these frozen pods with different individuals in them, and then it gets to the final 3 pods, and guess what's in the pod? This.
Yep.
Oh.
See, yeah. Now I didn't see Danny, but I did see Arnold, and of course, yeah. See.
I think there is a version that you don't see Danny, but then there's, like he said, there's that one too. But yeah, because
I think the original version I watched, it didn't have Danny in it, but
yeah,
it doesn't surprise me that they threw him in there.
Yeah, but it's like I say, like I just find it frustrating when it was first released that they knew they had done the animation, they had created that ending. I would have just put it out there with them, and it would have just blew up and had more hype. I don't know if the reason they didn't do it is because I do know Arnold Schwarzenegger is in talks with Dan Trachtenberg to return to Predator. It's like his 4th attempted return. And I think if he doesn't do it this time, he's not going to do it.
The man's almost 80 years old, so he better do something.
Yeah. Now or never, man. All you need is a cameo. Now
That's
or
the
never.
thing, though, right? Like, if they're frozen, how would he be? Basically everybody who encounters and kills one is frozen. That's the way it looks. So
Well,
Yeah.
they
Well,
could just keep.
to give you this impression that they are capturing their champions. That's what this is all about.
Yeah.
So basically, with the three that we have in this trilogy or this anthology, is that they were capturing to fight them in the arena, and so like it's just them collecting their champions. And so I guess their way of looking at it is like, yeah, we're gonna save onto these, and then we're gonna fight them again. And that's kind of like what they're trying to allude to, I guess.
But the one thing that always stood out for me is the animation. Like the predators themselves are just outstanding. This is the Berserker predator. This is the Baron predator. And of course, oh wait, that's not the one. This is the one.
no,
What was that?
that was the bad
This-
predator.
Okay.
This is the Ronin. He's known as the Ronin.
Mhm.
And his death was my favorite out of the three predators.
Yeah.
But it was a well-crafted film. It was smart. The animation style was great. The story was great. It was great to have three separate small stories and interlinked at the end. For me, it's the best. For me, up to what we've had, it's the best thing since the original Predator. I even think it's better than Prey. But that's my opinion.
But that's a good
But Mr. Tony, it's time to take your headphones off.
Oh,
Oh,
before I wanted to say about that Killers. When we were talking about how bloody it is, the two favorite kills in that is where she takes the shield and shuts the door and then slams his head into it. And
Yes.
it just slices in half. And then in the Japanese one, where he throws the blade and the guy sticks to the wall and then he like pushes a thing and it cuts him in half. So good. Okay, just do this, or
Just
do
wait.
this. Everybody, do this. Come back.
Okay.
All right.
Right.
I'm not even gonna look because I'm sure.
He doesn't want spoilers because he still hasn't seen it. Bless him.
Right. You
Okay.
definitely don't
Well,
want to do this.
It's time to talk about Predator Badlands. Another pleasant surprise of 2025.
Very
I would never have thought in the year 2025 we would have had two separate Predator films and each one was good.
Mm-hmm.
First time for everything. DJ Nubis, you went to see this earlier this week, so you said you wanted to talk more about it, so the floor is yours.
Get it, maybe.
Yeah, it's kind of like what I said in my my review. Like going in, I wasn't really sure what to expect. There was a lot of people saying yay and nay, but that's why it's always good to kind of go see something for yourself, or at least if you're interested to do that, because you never know how you're going to feel about it. Even with the trailer, I thought that this movie was going to play out a certain way, but I was pleasantly surprised when it didn't. It actually went in a whole different direction than I thought it would. So I was really happy about that. It actually mixed it up. And I do like that it's also kind of ties in like what we talked about the other day, Kevin, with the Alien Earth stuff, even though it's not really attached to it. But this idea that the Predators, or I should say the Weyland Corporation that goes around collecting creatures, is a nice way to kind of like a nod to what's going on in that Alien Earth series. But again, I don't think they're tied together, but it was interesting. They both approached it in a similar way with that particular company from both franchises. So, but in the end, I liked how, we get this like good robot or android and bad android. And then also the fact that it's not just about this young predator trying to earn himself, honor and stuff by getting a great kill over the Kalisk. It's that he's now got to fight against this corporation that's doing bad things, and he finds out that even the Kalisk is not as bad as it would seem on the surface. But CGI was cool in this. The fight sequences are cool. I thought it got a little corny with some of the robot thing with the girl like giving herself a high five with her foot. I thought that was a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. But overall, I thought Ellie Fanning did an amazing job in this. I thought she was great in both roles. And I could appreciate, because I was initially worried about how the Predator looked, but when you realize that he is a young Predator, it makes a lot more sense. And I did like the fact that they gave him more conclusion at the end with his father, which I thought was like the big driving force about his brother and everything. So I'm glad they tied that up at the end there. So
Daniel Miller.
Okay, where do I begin?
Okay.
Great CGI. Not completely sure about the Predator design, but that's just me because that's just me anyway.
And
The
just to
whole-
let you know, Daniel, before you continue, this wasn't completely CGI. There's a lot of practical effects. Like the Predator suit is actually practical.
The practical suit.
It's actually
So
practical.
so they pretty much did what they did with the Thing prequel, where they went to the effort of making a practical effect, but then painted CGI over it.
No, they actually use a practical
Yeah,
base.
that was actually all practical. That
There is CGI, but a lot of it was practical.
like the background, some of the creatures that they're seeing in there, but the suit itself the Predator itself was a practical element.
Well, that's good to know. But yeah, the whole subplot with the android carrying on. But yes, I agree with Anubis. It does sound corny, and what I think amplifies the corniness tenfold is the android fighting an evil version of itself, and it's like, oh my good god, this! How many times have I seen this device in other movies, and it's just not working. And the problem I have with the Predator movies recently, especially with this one, is how it's taking the Predator character. I get it that they're trying to differentiate each creature from the previous movie, personality-wise, but I feel that it's getting to the point where they're digging too much down that road of personalizing Predator characters. I feel that they should only do it in very little details. They shouldn't go out the whole, introduce a whole father-brother rivalry.
Well, I was worried about that. And I don't mean to cut you off, but I was worried about how they were humanizing the Predator.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as I watched the film, I started to understand that this is actually the first time we actually get a background to the Predator. Like a lot of times we just see them flying around. We know they're in clans, all this stuff. But this is the first time we actually get to see them interact as a clan, as a creature. And I'm not really opposed to that, because I think that's where we're going to find out just how unique they all are in their own individual settings. Now, you may not like that yourself, it's fine, but I'm just saying, like, we've never had a film where it's actually decided to go back into the background of the Predator itself, because we've never really known a lot about them. So I thought it was kind of cool.
And also, if you think about it, they've kind of laid the building blocks throughout the whole. You know, if you are a fan of the comics, so as you know, the comics have the history of the Utah, you know, different clans, different battles, different races. So if it's good enough for the graphic novels or the comic books, then you know, eventually they're going to have to bring some of that lore and storytelling into the films. Like, so how many times can you have a Predator film where it's simply a mindless alien hunter that's coming to Earth, or we're going to them and we're discovering them, or they're discovering us, and then the hunt we're down? It will be the same plot over and over and over, where they have to try and do something different to fully flesh out the story or to flesh out the lore in the world of the Predator. And I've pretty much looked at this as like along the lines of the Mandalorian as well, where they've introduced this character Deck, who potentially could progress and build on his story to then obviously tell a trilogy of films of his journey. But going back to what I said before, Daniel, you asked just some images. So that is the actor in the suit.
Yes.
If you look at his neck, there's like a plate with bolts in. That must be where the mask sits on.
Oh yeah, yeah, I see.
And
And
there you
this-
go.
Yeah, and this is what I was talking about because, yeah, I can tell there is some bit of practicality in the head sculpt, but at the same time, it looks like in post production, if you can bring an image up again, I'm seeing a little bit of CGI enhancement on
There
there.
probably will have been, but it's mostly practical.
Yeah,
Like, even though I love the look of Deck, Kiyu, is it Kiyu? I think, or Kwe, I think it was Kwe or Kiyu, which was his brother.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He looked fucking
Yeah.
badass.
He looks like
Cool.
he looks like the original Killer.
Yeah.
And just like the first film, I like the look of the face and the heads.
Yeah.
But sorry to cut you off, Daniel.
that's right.
So
Yeah, because I'm not opposed to them doing anything new. Like I'm all for them adding in varieties, spicing things up. What my concern lies in how they approach it, and considering that now Fox is under Disney, and seeing how things like Star Wars have gone onto their trajectory, there is that trepidation that it might repeat with Predator. It has repeated to an extent in Alien Earth, and I'm thinking that, God, whatever you do, please don't try and make this The Mandalorian, but with Predator retexture. Like don't treat it like Fortnite, where it's literally just a skin pack or a character expansion pack. Don't do that, please. Don't try and
Yeah,
make
that's a valid
not.
concern. That's a valid
Yeah.
concern because, like, you know, I talked about those books I read, like Prey and all them that deals with the Asian female character on the planet who teams up with one of the predators to fight off the alien species. So, but that's like a seasoned predator. So I think that, you know, I know what you're saying because I don't want it to get so corny to where the franchise tanks at this point. But let's say the next one that Trachtenberg does actually deals with like a more veteran type of species, but he still has his own personality. Like, I don't mind that. As long as they're building to something, then that's good, you know. But if it starts, like you said, if it starts getting to like we're just gonna have like a bunch of kiddie stuff thrown in, like I'm not interested in that at all.
yeah, Jedi. Overall thoughts on Badlands.
Well, we did the you pretty much know what I felt about it. It was a fresh take on the whole Predator mythos, and the simple fact that when it was revealed that the rating was PG-13, I got shut down very quickly. I just like, I don't think I'm going to enjoy this at all. I don't think it's because, not to say that PG-13 films won't do well. It's just that you're taking something that was very R-rated at the first get-go, and here is PG-13, and we already seen a PG-13 version of Alien and Predator. So I was thinking to myself, like, I don't know about this, but this is where my hopes were pretty much rejoiced with, because it made me realize like what action you see as far as the kills and everything, they were all droid related, synthetic related, and I was just like, oh shit! And then you see how the brutality of what's going on in this film is with other creatures and the like, you know. So as long as we don't see anything red, because red is dead if you do it if you kill something, and usually it's human. As long as you don't see that white blood, green blood, blue blood, that's okay. So in here, it rejuvenated my hopes about this film, and what I got out of it was far more than I thought it would be. And kind of like you, it's one of the few films that's pretty much going to be on the top of my list of the films, which is not saying too much because 2025 has been I don't know, it's been a rocky road of films that just didn't appeal to me, and I just don't feel like this movie, I mean, not this movie, but this year has been too great with any kind of choice of good films. I mean, I know for sure Sinners is going to be on my list for sure. That's for sure. And but this one will definitely be on the list. And I just wish there was more of this variety of like films like this that had good stories, decent characters, and you can ride with it. But unfortunately, we don't have that. So you take what you get. But all in all, this film is definitely on my top 10 list.
Yeah, well, as for me, I went into Badlands with a wall up. I was waiting to hate it. I'll be quite honest, but I actually left pleasantly surprised. I quite like you and Anubis, how they've created a unique story that basically shown you the inside workings of the Utah culture and how a predator becomes who he is. He's the runt of the litter deck, and he's seen as unworthy. He's seen as a weakness, and he's still trying to prove himself to his people, but in the end, he ends up just proving himself to himself, which I think was the whole point. You know, he doesn't have to prove himself to his people or his father. He just has to prove himself to himself and find his own worth. And at the same time, you're introduced to a host of other characters, and it gave me a mixture of The Mandalorian, but within the makeshift world of the Predator. And so because of that, I thought it was refreshing and different. And like I say, Dan Trachtenberg came up with 3 different story ideas, and all 3 have been different and unique and have brought new eyes to the Predator franchise and have, you know, basically give it new blood that I think it needed. Because if you've seen the past films like The Predator, even Predators, yes, you're set on a different world, or you're set on Earth again, but the story itself was pretty much a repeat of things we've seen previously in the first 2. And so you kind of keep repeating the same story over and over again without being bored or finding something new to refresh it. Where this, putting the Predator as the focus, is the protagonist, and giving him his own personality and giving him a story and giving him something to fight for, really shook things up for me. And the big question is now where they're going to take her next. But to continue that story, let's bring Tony back. Let's all give him a wave.
Come on, Tony. Come on.
Come back to the hive.
I'm coming.
Come back, Tony.
Right. So we're now at the point where we've said, now that we've talked about all films, I just quickly want to ask, where would you like to see it go next? Because if you think about it, Prey could get its own standalone sequel, or they could mash it in with Killer of Killers. Killer of Killers, the way that film ended, it definitely could lead to a direct sequel anthology film, which I would like to see what's going to happen to the survivors. And of course, without spoilers, Tony, the way Badlands ended, it ended in a way where you've now got this individual, the main protagonist, basically his story now could go in any direction. Or they could do a few films where they're going to mash it all together, which I don't know how they're going to do that, but it's quite interesting to see. So where would you like to go next, Tony, with the Predator franchise?
I don't know. Maybe a live action, back in samurai times.
Mhm.
Yes.
Like I know we got the. I was so excited when they were going to do that for the Killer Killers, but I want to see,
Yeah.
and practical. None of this, the Predator, like, at least the original, the one in that movie was not CGI, but then when they had that big one, it looked like crap. If they do that, it's going to ruin it. So nobody involved in that film should be anywhere near these.
Well,
Like
if
the
they
next
do,
stuff.
if they do one in the show, the Shogun era, I want it to have Hiroyuki Sanada in it.
Mhm.
Well,
Who-
duh.
No, he has to be. I know he's in the show Shogun, dumbass, and I know. But when they first were talking about, and the rumours were going about Killer of Killers or the follow up, The Prey, there were two rumours. One, it was going to be set in World War II, or one, it was going to be called No Man's Land, which I was really excited for. Then the other one was going to be set during like the Shogun era, and Sanada was apparently rumored to be in it. But I don't know if that was just rumors because of the show Shogun. But I still think, despite them doing the anthology film, I still think they should do a film based entirely during that era. And of course, the same with No Man's Land. I'd love to see a World War II based solo
I
film.
would say just take Killer Killers and make like a movie based on each one of them. I'd love to see a Viking one. I'd love to see a Japan one. I'd love to see the World War II. Like I think the whole concept of that anthology is amazing. Like, and it was well done. But that's probably the only reason why I don't even include it in my list, because it is an animation. It's not a live action film, but it's still very good for what it is.
Yeah. What if they made like one that's like way in the future, and so some of the like kind of like they're trying to survive, but they're still being hunted, but like the world's ended.
Or like an apocalyptic era
Yeah,
type. That would be different.
maybe
That'd
more
be cool.
anime. I'd watch.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd watch any apocalyptic movie, but
Right.
I animated or
If they did a
Like,
handy cam,
regular.
you'd watch one.
Now that would be something right there. Almost hidden footage kind of thing.
I'd watch it, but I don't want it.
Yeah, I think Tony would like a found footage Predator film.
Yeah, he would.
As long as he doesn't turn the camera and look at himself and go, "You're one beautiful motherfucker" or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes. Daniel Miller, where would you like the series to go?
I like the series. I want the series to try something new, but at the same time, I don't want it to stray too far away from what it began and what's already established. As far as standalone things, I'm open to new ideas. Maybe a safari on a planet made out of ice, on like a colony that's run down. It's like the Wild West, but in space. And then there's this predator hunting, but it's in this sub-zero environment, and it's actually because they're usually hunting in warm tropic climates. It'll be interesting to see a predator in a complete opposite of that, and seeing how it can adapt in that kind of environment.
Yeah.
This I have said before. I would like to see an aliens versus predator concept done properly this time. That being because here's how it would be done. If it were to have continuity with anything, it would be after the events of Alien 3. This would be the logical time to have AVP set. Sometime after the events of Alien 3, feature a human colony on a distant planet and feature the colonial marines in the middle of this chaos between these two species going head to head. Now, back to the standalone things, I wouldn't mind an open world sort of video game. Think of it as a mixture of Predator hunting grounds with at least the futuristic city aesthetics of Predator Concrete Jungle. As much as that game infuriates me there are some things I do like about it.
Mhm. What about bringing in a female predator?
Oh man, you stole my thunder, Kevin. I was about to bring that up. You just stole
That's
it.
so
from me.
woke of you, Kevin.
Damn, dude.
Well, you haven't seen Badlands yet.
No, I
so-
haven't.
Yeah.
But thanks for letting me know that there
Now,
might be one in it.
Yeah.
Uh,
now I know that the fans are pretty divided on the whole female predator thing. What I would say is,
I don't care.
if you can find a way to make it work without it being ridiculous, then go
Yeah.
for it. But if it's going to be woke or anything, then just don't.
Well,
See,
there is
only
an
do
alien or
If
female.
there's something sensible to do with it.
Right.
Didn't they technically make that girl a predator, one of them in Alien vs Predator?
Yeah, she wasn't seen as a predator as such, but she was honored as a member of the Predator clan. Hence, why she was given that scar
Yeah,
on the in the
So
final act.
that might
Yeah,
be the
that's-
closest she'll get.
Yeah, that's like closer to the books I have because again, the character of Noguchi
Yeah.
is somebody who earns the respect of the predator as she fights alongside this, veteran predator. So there's this mutual respect between them. That's sort of what the first film in Alien vs. Predator was trying to do. It just never went totally in that direction.
Mm.
Back to what Dan said about like different, like how they would do in the ice. I mean, look in the second one, how they can go through the visor, different visions,
Yeah.
even whatever those other visions would be for. Something like that would be cool too. Like maybe they have another party or challenge or something, and that's like Dan said, they have to go to the extreme of what, maybe no weapons.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that would be interesting. A Predator film where he's got none of his technology and he has to just use the layer of the land
Yeah.
to fight, which we can't talk about Badlands, but something similar might or may not have happened.
It didn't.
It did.
You
It
know,
never existed.
no, he didn't. He didn't have sex with that Muppet. He didn't. I swear, he didn't. He didn't take the android and rape her in the back of the van. It didn't happen.
Rip her in half.
Mhm. Anyway, let's talk about these films and rate the suckers. It's time to rate the films and rate them in the order you would like them in. So, like you say, we've talked about every film in the franchise so far, but now it's time to rate them. So, I'm gonna go with Mr. Jedi Granville first. In what order do you like them, and what's your ratings for them?
Okay, the highest would be the ones that I like the most, and so far.
Yeah, so from least favorite to favorite.
Okay, that makes more sense. Okay.
Yeah, keep the suspense there.
Keep the suspense. The suspense is going to be really there. Well, to a degree, not with Anthony, but it's close to that. But the least favorite, and it's kind of sad that I'm saying it's the least favorite when I actually got it in my film library, but it is this. This is the least one, of course, The Predator, and we all know why, because of many things. It's just, I don't even know if you want to categorize it as a Predator film. I mean, it's more human interaction than anything.
To us.
That's God. Hold up a second. It's hold up a second.
Is your fire alarm?
God damn it.
It's his.
The suspense.
Mhm.
The
I
predator
think with
doesn't like to be put at last.
Do 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 do.
Yes, there you go. Thank you. Sorry. All right. Well, that's the least favorite. Okay. Not so much least favorite would be Predators. I mean, it's way better than The Predator, but Predators is kind of like right there with that. Next comes kind of, let me see. That would be Predator 2. Predator 2 is a little bit higher on the scale there. Then we would go to Trying to make sure I'm around.
Echo just went nuclear.
What happened? What?
He loves Predator 2. You put it
Oh
that
God!
way,
Okay,
Oh.
look, that's just my opinion now. Come on, now, you're my soul. You must sister.
She's like hyperventilating over here.
Okay.
It's gonna blow.
Okay, that's okay. Anyway, going up the ladder here. I said Predator. Predators 2. Then would come Prey. I think it's Prey. Prey is next. Then would be this is gonna be tough right here because it's Killer of Killers and Badlands. So those two are kind of tied a little bit. Those are gonna tie. I'm gonna say those are tied with that. Those are tied in the next one. And then after that would be, of course, the original OG one, Predator. So that would be my least favorite to the crowning jewel, which is the original John McTiernan directed action flick classic. Yes.
So,
Okay, just tell Nico, please don't kill me for saying that, okay, about that one, okay?
She's fine.
Okay.
It's not
She's
that
like,
low
want
on the
some
totem.
candy?
so Tony, what is your list in?
Well, probably on the bottom is the Predator, and then just based off of what I've seen so far of Badlands, that's above the Predator. But yeah, probably the Predator. Then, wow, that's tough when it gets up this far, though. I thought I had this all good. I'll go from the very top to the bottom
Mm-hmm.
because that's easier for me.
So you're going to go
Predator,
from your favorite to
My
your least
favorite to
favorite.
my least, yeah.
Mhm.
Predator. We have Predator, Predators, Predator 2. Actually, no. It used to be that. It's Predator, Predator 2, Predators, Prey, and Killers, and then the Predator. And then I haven't seen Badlands yet, but yeah,
Okay.
I'd say that's probably the order.
Mm.
And again, that could change the next time we talk about
Yeah,
this.
well, once you see Badlands, you never know.
Right.
So,
Yes.
mhm.
It just makes me
Cool.
happy to hear that you guys liked it.
Like
I
I
haven't
said,
watched the reviews yet, but
I went in with my wall up. I went in thinking in my head, just have a wall up and know you're going to hate it. But I actually came out not hating it. So,
good.
Go figure.
so now we go, Mr. Daniel Miller.
They skipped right over me.
Mhm.
Right. Okay, so from the very bottom of the barrel, the Predator. I mean, seriously, of all the titles, you have to go with the Predator. Anyway,
Sounds more like a bass fisherman.
yeah, couldn't put it better myself.
Yeah, we voted
Yeah.
on Predator. It's cooler, right? Fuck yeah.
Right.
Sorry.
So yeah, very bottom of the barrel is the Predator. After that, now this I have to give quite highly, although but not by not by a
Not
wide
much.
margin. So the Predator is a 0, flat out 0.
Mhm.
Next at a 4.5. Now I'm going to be generous and give it a 5 out of 10. Would be Prey, and then just above that, at the same number, 5 would be Predator Badlands. Now here I'm going to have neck and neck, varying from at least a 6 to 6.5 are Predators and Predator Killer of Killers. Then above that would be Predator 2, and then above that would be the first Predator.
Interesting.
Wow.
See, I like that. See?
Mr. DJ Nuvis.
All right, so Killer or Killers, like I said, because it's animated, I'm putting it separately. So just with that by itself, it's 10 out of 10 for me. I really enjoy that animation. But with the live action, starting from the bottom, the Predator gets 1 Yvonne Strautowski out of 10. So that's where that is for me with that. Going up from there, we have Predators at 5 out of 10. Then Prey at 7 out of 10. Badlands at 9 out of 10. Predator 2, 10 out of 10. And then Predator 1, 10 out of 10.
Nice. So my turn. At number bottom of the barrel, can't even wipe me arse with it. We're talking about 0 point to the Predator, or Asylum, the Predator, because that's what it fucking felt like.
If you want an Asylum quality Predator movie, go find Alien versus Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god!
I've seen that actually. It's pretty bad.
Next would have to be Predators, even though I do like it. There's been too much good new content come out that it's dropped in, my estimation since these new films. I'm going to give that a 6 out of 10. Then the next on my list is going to have to be Prey.
Okay.
Prey, and I'm going to give that an 8 out of 10. Then I'm going to have Badlands next. I'm going to give that 8 out of 10 as well. Killer of Killers, 10 out of 10. Predator 2, 10 out of 10. In the classic, 10 out of 10 for Predator.
Right. See?
I didn't know we were supposed to give numbers.
You don't have
Well,
to. I just do it for
Everything
myself.
is
So-
canned except for Predator.
10.
I would not wipe my arse with the Predator. I'd walk around with a sticky, dirty arse.
Did you ever see Robo War?
Yes, I have
Is
seen
that-
that.
I haven't seen that, but I heard of it.
It's like a Predator and RoboCop Mick
It's
ripoff.
pretty cheesy, but it's fun.
bad.
And here is Mr. J. Cole's list.
Oh,
So
oh,
7,
Predator.
he's got the Predator, Predator 2 at 5, 3, Predator Badlands, 2,
Oh.
Killer of Killers, nice, and then
What's that,
Predator.
NECA? You said Jake's off the Christmas list? Okay.
Oh Lord, see.
He's exploded. Neko has
Oh.
exploded.
He's just,
He didn't
he's
like
getting
2 because
sponged.
there was nudity.
What would be yours? Although you haven't seen all of them, so I don't know. Yeah.
Cans.
So what you have seen, which I think is only 2.
Oh my god.
What's the third one you've seen? Prey?
Right.
Oh, okay.
So what's Neko's list? They should give you a
I
list.
think hers would be probably be Prey, Predator, and then Predator 2 would be her number 1.
Predator 2 is like a number 1 movie for me. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah, she
And
loves Predator 2.
Like I say, I originally could have watched I could originally have watched Predator 2 and Predators back to back, but now because there's this new lot of film, I can easily skip Predators and go
Yeah.
Predator 2s, and go into Prey, and go into Killers, and then go straight into Badlands. I wouldn't
Badlands.
even fucking touch the Predator.
Nah, that's garbage. Hot fucking garbage.
I couldn't even finish it while I was watching. I'm like, yeah.
I was ready to quit.
I paid to see that on the big screen.
Yes.
Well, I
You
unfortunately
said that
did.
was your first one too, right, Dan? That was your first Predator movie in the theater?
And you was only what 17? 18?
18.
He doesn't want to answer. He's like, I'm not going to admit to
Yeah.
that.
And, and my disappointment was beyond words.
I believe it.
I believe
And
it.
At least you gave
Well-
the other ones a try after that.
Yeah.
I was this
and,
close.
and then
to
you
giving
went
up
into the
when Disney
graphic
bought the
novels.
rights.
So the graphic novels probably cheered you up after watching that garbage.
Mm.
Mm. But gentlemen, this has been a lot of fun. We've made it to the end of ranking each and every Predator film. It's been a good conversation, apart from the technical difficulties at the beginning, we've managed to crack through it. But what's coming to your channels in the near future, Mr. Daniel Miller?
Coming to my channel. Now, in addition to the Alien vs. Predator retrospective, which is still a work in progress, on the story front, I'm working on a short story for the Christmas season. It's literally one final scene away from being completed, then it's being narrated, then it's going to get edited, and then it will finally be ready for everyone to hear in time for the festive season.
Cool.
Interesting. Mr. DJ Anubis.
So tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, the Silver Screen Savants with Olvin. I think Jedi is going to be there as well for James Bond, The Living Daylights. We'll be reviewing that film. Then on Monday, Cinemax Synergy returns. It's Kevin's pick this time around. We're going to be reviewing Dark City, which I haven't seen since I saw it in the theater many years ago. So Wednesday, I am going to be having a lot of fun with Mr. Lambert on his channel to do a double shot review of the Sisu films, 1 and 2, which are out. The second one's out now. I have to go watch it sometime this week, but I will. And then, of course, Wednesday also, the return of the Ghouls at Midnight, unless my co-host decides for a third week in a row to fucking blow me off. So we are going to get back to the Ghouls of Midnight. I believe my pick is Heavier Trip, and then his was, of course, 2025's Coyotes. So luckily I haven't watched it yet, so I can actually watch it fresh before I review it. Friday, Into the Darkness with Kevin Lambert. I believe it's the Omen franchise, which I have to find a way to find the new one to watch. I think I haven't seen it yet still. And then Saturday, it's actually a special Silver Screen. So once again, Jedi is going to be there as we're going to rank the James Bond films. So that's basically what's coming up next week.
Nice. Mr. Jedi Granville.
Well, Anubis has pretty much covered all the bases with me, you know. But besides that, coming up Sunday, I'll be joining him in Owen. I will be doing it won't be live, it'll be recording, but I'm going to do a favor and give my all impression of this as a special myself and see what it is like for the viewers at home, because I got it in recently, and if it's as good as it appears to be, I'll give my
What is that? What is it?
It's a mince pie, basically.
Oh, okay.
It's a British pie. So me and Jedi and Anthony were talking, and he was asking us about food and like the pies in the UK, and I said that there is a brand that do some really good pies. So Jedi managed to find one and bought one.
And hey,
so he's going to taste some proper British food.
Exactly. And coming this Wednesday, I don't know if you guys saw it, but I mean, anyone who's watching, who's on my channel, I will be doing a one-on-one, or basically it's going to be a co-production with a certain someone, and we're going to be discussing my favorite Godzilla film, Godzilla versus Megalon, because that was the first film I ever saw of the Big G, so I'm going to be talking about it. And come next Friday, after Black Friday. Well, that is Black Friday. I'm sorry, it is Black Friday. It's not going to be too black because I'm black, but that's beside the point.
You are?
Yeah.
I never noticed.
I know. It's like, can you notice?
I just thought it was dark in your room.
Black. I mean, true enough, my shirt is black, but I mean, you didn't know if it was black or not. Anyway, I will be. Or say Jake Hall will be joining me that particular day, and we're going to be discussing one of the most controversial tokusatsu kaiju films ever, which is Hanuman, and the Seven Ultramen. And when we get into discussion, you'll find out why it's such a controversial film, because trust me, the background of this film is legendary. It's just that bad. I mean, the movie is not like super bad. It's just the making of it is extremely. And then that Saturday, I will be joining with Anubis, as he mentioned before, with Oven, and we're going to be ranking our favorite of the Bond films from zero to hero, whatever we want to call it, from no to, I guess it was No Time to Die. Yeah, it was No. Yeah, well, that's right. No and No. It's from no to no. That's right. Yeah. So yeah.
No to no.
Yeah. We're going to be ranking those, and that's just to give a really quick future thing I'm going to be doing. By the tail end of next month, I will be giving my 20. I think it's going to be 20. It might jump more, but I'm going to give my top favorite super good hero films, and it's going to be starting. And it's not just going to be it's not going to be just Marvel. It's going to be DC too, because there are some DC films that are pretty decent, and they're going to be mixed in together. And I'm going to kind of do it from top to bottom. Well, yeah, of course I'm going to be top to bottom. It's going to be starting from 20 on to number one. Although I don't know if it's going to be 20. It could be 30. Don't know, but we'll see. So that's just a little hit.
Of them out there.
Yes, there is, and some of them are bad too. So, but I'm picking the ones that I really enjoyed, that are really up there, and you'll see. You'll see.
Cool.
Nice. As for me in the entertainment headquarters, as mentioned by my good friend there, DJ Anubis, we're going to be doing a double review of the Sisu films. Going to go see the second one this Tuesday. Very much looking forward to that. Like he says, we've got the Omen franchise coming up soon, and then we're heading into December. So heading into December, the first thing I'll be doing, which will be on Sunday, the 2nd of December, we're going to be doing Kaiju Connections, and we're going to be talking about Pulpazori. And later on that month, we have a lot of different content coming your way. We will have Retro Classic Movie Show. We will be doing an Into the Darkness double special, which will be The Shining and Doctor Sleep. We've also got a Christmas special, which is a double, which is going to be Scrooged and Edward Scissorhands. We've got the Middle Earth special, where we'll be talking about the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbits. And we're also, I cannot end the year without celebrating the Guardian of the Universe on his 60th anniversary. We've got the Gamera anniversary special coming up, and a few more hidden surprises, but that's what's coming up on the entertainment headquarters. Hope to see you on all those amazing content. For everybody that watched and commented, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a blast. I love doing this with these guys, and it's been fun talking all things Predator. And like I say, please check out the Metal Tavern Radio, Mr. Tony the Dead, Jedi Granville Productions, and Dan Filament for some more amazing content. And if you want, please like, share, and subscribe to the entertainment headquarters. But from me and my amazing guests, we'll catch us all later. Keep enjoying your movies, keep enjoying all things entertainment, and we'll catch us all at the next one.